My next question is from a friend. And we went to a bar. Some people from work went to a bar after work. And I was late and everyone had started drinking. And I showed up and I showed up and he said, "Can I get you a drink?" And I said, "No, I don't need one." And he looked at me with such awe. And he said, "How do you do that?" And that was a really powerful moment. And I really felt his pain. And I felt the bondage and the trap that he was in. Because I do that with food. I do that with donuts. And I can say no to a donut. But I think about it for the rest of the day. And I think, why me? Why can't I be one of those people who can have donuts? Just a casual donut. Eat a half a donut. Some people can eat a half a donut. It's outrageous to me. How do you have that self-control? And they don't care. They just don't care. They never forged a connection between food and happiness. I'm very fortunate to have never created a path from alcohol or drugs to happiness. So let's think about habits as just these mechanical shortcuts. Somewhere beef jerky and happiness made that link, and now you're totally helplessly addicted to beef jerky. And it's ruining your life, and your wife is leaving you, and the doctor says you're never gonna make it out of this one. And you're just like, I can't stop it with the beef jerky. And remember, spiritually, what is a thought? A thought is something that comes to you. It's confusing because you can both use your mind to think, and your mind can also use you to listen. It can use you to hear it. So when you're driving down the road and you're just thinking, man, I really wish it was summer and I was at the beach, and then suddenly you think, I forgot to get bananas. Turn it around. Did you remember bananas? No. Your mind handed you a note of bananas and said, here is what you have forgotten. And you say, oh, yes, right? Because there's no sense in making yourself a note. Oh, bananas. Ah, yes, bananas. No, because you already remembered that. Why would you hand yourself a note? A thought is an exchange from that which knows to that which is listening, that which doesn't know. Why would you even have thoughts? If you and your mind were one, you wouldn't have thought. There would only be the impulse to grab banana. But when you have a memory, that's just a clear sign that you and the mind are separate. You know what's fascinating? Your mind wouldn't have thought and memory if you weren't there to listen. Your mind already knows that you are pure consciousness. It already knows it. You just don't know it. You haven't seen it yet. But your mind knows that you're listening, because guess what? That's all you can do. Your brain would shut up if it knew you weren't listening. So as long as you're listening, it's going to say, play the cigarette thing. Play the donut thing. Years ago, I went to an acupuncturist and she told me I was eating all the wrong things. And so I had to give up cheese and gluten and dairy. All dairy and nuts, peanut butter. Just all of my sugar, all my favorite things. I remember for several months, I would go to the Mexican restaurant and I'd order tacos and I'd say, This time you're not getting cheese. No cheese. Just she's gonna ask you about cheese. You gotta say no. You're gonna say no, no cheese. I don't want cheese. It's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. They say, would you like cheese? I say yes. And just to hate myself, I would go 2 days later and try it again. Eventually, I did it one day, and it was fine. It was perfectly fine with no cheese. And it made it easier after that. So much of what we do is fear, right? We're scared that it's not going to be a good time. We're scared that we're not going to have fun. We don't know how to do this thing. We don't know how to talk to a girl without alcohol, right? I don't know how to take my shirt off at the beach, right? And these things aren't hard to do. Is it hard for a middle schooler to walk to a high school party? No, all you have to do is just take steps, and next thing you know, you've entered the party. And yet it is so hard to do these things. Of course, with substance, there's a physical thing that I don't mean to undersell. There are physical attachments to these habits, but if you can see that you're being played by your mind is telling you that you need to be scared to go to that party. Your mind is telling you you'd be scared to wear a swimsuit, right? Because everyone's going to hate you and judge you and think that you're ugly. Your mind's going to say, you're not going to be cool if you're not smoking that or drinking that. And you don't have to listen. So I would guess that the only thing I really have to say about that is, boy, am I sorry for all this programming. We're all messed up. And so try to acknowledge some of your own programming and how weird it is. You could be totally terrified of vomit, totally terrified by clowns. Now clowns and vomit, I don't care about those. I'm not scared of either of those things. But I've got my own weird programs that tell me about donuts, that tell me about loneliness and body image. Tell me that my eyes are too close together and I look weird, right? Fat, love handles. And some people love love handles. So let's be compassionate towards other people and their weird things that overwhelm them. Let's try to hear them, try to hear your partner. And use it as a catalyst to understand yourself. Watch someone else suffer. And without judging them, look at yourself and say, what do I do this with? Fortunately, I am married and I have someone to remind me all of the things that I do wrong. So I'm very grateful that God sent me someone who is my opposite. And we can just sit there and call each other out and say, you're doing it again. And then, of course, you got to stay cool and not get mad about it. Be thankful, which is very hard to do. Remember, it's not you. There's a monkey up there playing all this bad stuff. You don't have to be a slave to it. I'm reminding myself as much as reminding you. Thank you.